This video is a response to the Angry Prepper and his latest video discussing whether or not we are actually in World War III. I would submit that we are more than likely in the early phases still, as the major powers have not all begun slinging lead at each other. And hopefully we can avoid that, but it seems questionable based on the trajectory and the expenditure and the arming of everyone. But the point of the video today is not about that. The point of the video today is to tell you not to panic. As Angry Prepper pointed out, if you are watching this content, you are more than likely well ahead of the average person. You've already stocked stuff to the rafters, and doing what you're supposed to be doing. And I would submit your life is mostly going to be unaffected by World War III. I don't think we will see, personally, a large nuclear exchange. Will we see tactical nukes deployed? Probably in Europe, maybe in the Middle East. I'd say that there's a really good chance that were to happen. And there wouldn't be a major response to it. It would mostly stay localized. So we at home, again, would not be that heavily impacted. Now, the only real impact that we will see will be moving into a wartime economy as things inevitably progress, and the draft. There's a reason they've been priming us, social engineering us for a draft, including Hollywood releases of World War II movies, which seem to be only ramping up, and TV shows. For whatever reason, that seems to be a focus. I wonder why that is. As you know, not long ago, the Army also sent 800 soldiers on last-minute emergency orders to recruiting school. Why would they do that? There's a few reasons. I may get into that in another video, but let's just say it's probably tied into the problems that we're seeing overseas right now. But I want you to keep this in mind. You here at home who have been preparing, who will now likely be living in a wartime economy, really the only big impact on you might be that there will be new job opportunities that will emerge in the wartime economy. So if you can find or have the skills or want to train and acquire the skills that would be relevant in a wartime economy, might be worth it. Could put you financially not only in a better position, but it will help you serve the national defense interests of this country, even if some of those interests right now don't seem to really align with the interests of most of us, that's for sure. The other thing, though, that will happen, you're going to see a little scarcity. You may see some rationing, which is one of the reasons why we prepare. Prices on a lot of goods and services are likely to go through the roof. There will be a shortage of a lot of different skills and people, because there will inevitably be some type of military draft. They will also, as I pointed out, likely draft people who are older. They'll start with the 19, 20-year-olds. So if you have kids who are in that age range, there's a high probability that they're going to be called up. And if you go on Google right now, or you search around a little bit, you'll find a lot of people are very concerned about this, especially young adults. And they're trying to find ways to not get drafted, because frankly, they're just not that connected to their Western countries. And there's a number of reasons for that. Something else I might make a video on later on. It's been pretty interesting delving into the culture and the mentality of the average Zoomer. It's pretty sad in some cases, and in other areas, it's pretty amazing how alert and aware and awake they are with a lot of stuff. But your life's not going to be impacted that heavily because you've been preparing. People have this idea that once we go into war, that suddenly everything is the front line. Yet, when they see video out of Ukraine, especially Kiev, where people are partying at nightclubs, going to bars, they freak out. People in war zones who are non-combatants continue to go about their daily lives pretty much unabated. Just normal, every day-to-day stuff. If they have a farm, they're in a rural area, they tend to the farm. If they're in a city, they still have a job. They still have bills. They still have to pay rent. Your landlord doesn't care that World War III's on. He expects his rent payment, right? The bank doesn't care. You borrowed money from them on your house or credit cards. They're expecting payment. They don't care that there is a war. So don't expect a whole lot of change. You might just see more military presence at high traffic locations. You'll probably see more National Guard at airports, just like the post 9/11 period. There will be more people traveling. You'll see more military vehicles, more military convoys, more trains loaded with military vehicles and war materials. You'll see more civilians working at military bases. More opportunity, as I said, for employment in the war sector. Especially if you're older. You want to do your part, you feel obliged to continue to give to this country, there will be plenty of government service jobs that will pop up when this happens. Because a lot of people will be pulled out of their jobs and moved to a more frontline location. It's just a fact. If they're active duty, right? Auto reservists, National Guard, they're all going to get called up. So don't panic. It is what it is. We can only take it a day at a time. I want everyone to just deep breath, okay? I'm tired of a lot of the bombastic stuff that a lot of channels put out. I know you are too. I've stopped watching a lot of the really bombastic channels. Canadian Prepper, namely. And he has some good nuggets in his videos. But every video is always this, oh gosh, oh my goodness, I can't believe this has happened. Yeah, I get it. They moved another chess piece. And as I said, some of it's good information, but if you're going to react to it in a way that's going to cause panic, that's going to cause you to go out and spend an inordinate amount of money, that's going to get you worked up, don't do that. Don't do that. And we as conservatives all the time, one of the worst things that we do, we make fun of the soy consumer, yet we do a lot of the same stuff in the preparedness world. We end up becoming the soy consumer, especially on the gun stuff. Oh, what came out of SHOT Show this year? Oh boy, I better run out and go buy. Calm down, calm down. Do you have a couple ARs? Great. Do you have ammo? Great. Have you taken any training classes lately? Well, no. How overweight are you? Oh, about 50 pounds. Can you walk to the end of your driveway without huffing and puffing? Do you have body armor? Oh, you know. Really, focus on the things that matter. We know what's going on to some degree across the ocean, but it's across the ocean. There's a lot of instability that is being created here at home by both domestic individuals and foreign assets are causing problems here. We've already seen the food plant fires again, right? We've already seen some issues at some oil manufacturing facilities again. And I'm going to stress that you keep your gas tank very full pretty much all the time, because I'm expecting to see a pretty large surge on gas prices. Besides the fact you should just do that anyway, general preparedness, basic. If you have to leave quickly, you don't want to be trying to go to the gas station, especially if everybody else is there, right? So I want you to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, taking care of your family. Don't try to hyperfixate on this stuff too much, because they don't want to hear it 9 times out of 10. If you're watching this material, you know, consider this a safe space for preppers, right? We don't need to constantly bombard our family members with this stuff. They know things are bad. They know things are uncomfortable. They're not as inclined to discuss it as those of us in this little community and space that we've built for ourselves. And that's fine. It is what it is. They will come around on their own terms. Maybe they won't, and that's okay. Our goal should be to make things as comfortable for them and us as possible. But at the same time, avoiding some of the hoarder tendencies that a lot of people seem to have within the community. It's pretty alarming, frankly. We need to be strategic in our buys. We need to be more organized in what we're doing. And I'm definitely guilty of that myself. Definitely guilty of that myself. Everything I just said, by the way. So don't hit your family over the head with this. Focus on what you can focus on. Work on what you can work on. And if you don't have a gym membership right now, maybe it's not in the budget, I get it, or you're in a really rural area, slowly accumulate weights. Look on Facebook Marketplace or other places. Get physically squared away, because you can control that. You can't control what some rich men north of Richmond are doing right now, okay? They are going to absolutely wreck this place to an unbelievable level. We know that. All the normies pretty much know that by now. They're struggling. If you see videos of young people circulating and they're talking about how miserable they are, comment a little bit of support. Hey, Things are tough right now. We can work on them together to make them better. Build community. Focus heavily on building community. I've been working on getting to meet my neighbors, hopefully socialize a little more with my neighbors. There's other people around me who are prior service. Those are good people to know, especially in times like these. Stay safe, guys. Take care. See you in the next one.